Peace, peace, good people. Welcome to my channel. I am Nuku, the Horned Dakini, coming on to give you guys a reading. So come on in, pull on up, and join me. Hello, newbies. If this is your very first time visiting with me, I welcome you. Delighted to have you, and I hope that you do choose to subscribe and stay. Okay? OGs, returnees, mwah. Thank y'all so very much. Okay? Thank y'all so very much. So I got a reading that's on my heart, and I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know who I'm talking to. I know, like, energetically I know who I'm talking to, but I don't know who is going to really receive this. But I know that I was guided to come on and give a particular message, right? And I know that I'm going to title it Lean the Fuck In. Okay? So thank you, sweet spirit, for using me as a trusted and true vessel to bring about a message for the collective that will soon be here to view this reading. Help me unfold this reading in such a way that the soul of the individuals that are supposed to hear it know exactly what to do after receiving this message. Ashe. Lean the fuck in. The cards are going to help me unfold the message. Right now, I only have plans to use this one deck, but I don't know. I got an urge or a feeling that I may incorporate another deck. So I'll say that, and then sometimes I don't. But I got a feeling that I'll be incorporating maybe an oracle deck. Okay, but yeah, lean the fuck in. I believe that I'm talking to a collective of people. I don't know if you don't trust that the process is safe and you good. Or I don't know if you don't trust the fact that you know enough, so it's okay for you to proceed. You waiting until you get some more. But I feel like Spirit is telling me you don't need no more. You got exactly what you need right now. Right the fuck now. To move on, to proceed. So I feel like I'm talking to y'all too. Like Spirit is telling me to tell you, lean the fuck in on what you already know. Lean the fuck in on what you already got. It's almost like you're trying to force the universe to show you something else, and the universe is like, well, what the fuck else do they want? I done already done it. You feel me? So that's what it feels like is happening. So we're gonna let these cards help me unfold this theme, okay? Thank you for being here. The Son of Pentacles. This is Virgo's energy. I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking to a Virgo, perhaps, but I'm talking to someone who you already planned, huh? No, it's just them kids that I'm on a reading. But it's just those children. Sorry about that. You've already planned and wrote it out, and you've already done the most. Now take that and go. Take that and do. Take that and build. Take that and multiply it, right? So, Son of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles energy is someone who, as I've said in past readings, you don't believe in rushing. You understand that haste makes waste. So you haven't rushed a thing. You literally have been writing, planning, adjusting, investing, little bit at a time. Little bit. And what I'm hearing Spirit tell me to tell you is your little bit has made the whole. It's full, it's complete. Or there's enough of it. There's enough momentum in behind it. There's enough vibration to it. There's enough momentum for that thing to start thinking. Okay? So let's keep going. God of Swords, because you've been standing on business, sweetheart. That's a little reel that went around a couple of years ago. Little boy, sweetheart, but you've been standing on business, sweetheart. You've been standing on business because you've been planning it. You've been writing it out. What's the church song? Write the vision, make it plain. I said in a previous reading, I don't know if it was the one right before this one or the one before that one, but I said that somebody did them vision boards and you tended to each thing that you put on that vision board. Some of y'all did vision journals. Some of y'all, just wrote in your journal. You wrote in your diary daily, or you probably just started. I may be talking to some of you who you never even did the diary thing. You never did the journal thing, especially men. They have a hard time doing stuff like that because it seems feminine. But then somebody tapped in and said, feminine or not, for one, it ain't feminine. But even if it is, I'm going to try, because if it works, I just want the results. I'm talking to some of you, men and or women, who you wrote down what you wanted and you begin to see fruition just from writing it. Just from writing it, you started to see results, okay? Because I know what I'm talking about. That's results. That's attainment. You started to see what you said. You feel me? You wrote it and you didn't stop writing it. You didn't stop putting energy into it until you begin to see what you said. Okay? Wrote it. Stood on it. Got it. Listen, the story could end right there. Lean the fuck in. Spirit is already telling. Listen. There is nothing else more to ask for. Anything else that you're waiting on is just extra. But be careful with extra, because extra can turn into baggage. It doesn't matter if it's stuff that you like. That's what hoarding is. Having access to or access amounts of things that you like that you don't really necessarily need all of that access of or to. So be careful with wanting more and wanting extra. Or let me get just a little bit more. You tilt them scales because you become too heavy. Okay? You become too heavy. And wanting more really never stops. Because what is more? You get that little bit more. And then someone tell you, well, you get a little bit more. And before you know it, now you're moving in the energy of greed. Okay? You got enough right now to do something. You got enough to see something out. See it to its fullest. Okay? You got enough to see something to its fullest, okay? I'm going to keep going because I feel like it's more to the message. It's more to the message. If you're resonating with this thus far, go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you for being here. Another thing I see too is a graduation. A graduation in your... It's like once you started thinking better, you started looking better. You went from looking like you've matured in how you think, and something about what you did to your physical vessel now matches how you think. Yeah, like I ain't gonna say you had a glow up, because sometimes when I hear people say they had a glow up, it can sometimes denote that they went from ugly to beautiful, and I don't like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't fuck society's standards, right? I don't follow in society standards. I never have and I never will. And I love and appreciate and respect and really honor other people who don't try to blend in and follow society's standards. And I think that is the most idiotical shit in the world. So anyway, I don't say glow up, but I do think you leveled up your thinking And when you leveled up your thinking, you begin to match this new way of thinking. So you could have begun to dress differently. You could have begun to do something differently, right? You could have started wearing crystals. You put some type of, whatever it was physical. Whether it was an upgrade to your vessel, or you just started to add things. Because like I said, some of y'all could have started dressing different. Some of y'all could have started wearing, copper and wires, or you could have started wearing different type of symbology, different symbols, different talismans, and what's that other can't think of the word right now, but just little things that you started wearing on your person to represent how you think now. Okay, you could have went and got tatted up, right? You could have went and got tattoos of different symbols and different rooms and stuff, different things that match your level of thinking. Abraham Hicks is coming into mind too. So some of y'all could have started listening to people that match how you think now. And that could also mean that many of you went from listening or following one particular path to graduating to another. So maybe you followed a different type of scholar. Maybe they had a different understanding of spirituality. Well, maybe you graduated from that one and now you are over here learning this one, right? Because I'm an omnist at heart. I'm an omnist at heart, meaning I take a little bit from everything and make it my thing, right? Because I do believe that there's a little truth in everything. Because who am I to say, oh, what I believe is what's true, what you believe. That's why I don't fool with Christians and Jehovah's Witnesses. And I'm not disrespecting them when I say I don't fool with them. I just mean that because they're too pushy and they believe that they are the one and the only, and I don't believe that. I don't subscribe to that. I don't apply to that. So I don't push what I believe off on others. But because I am such a, again, honest, I believe there's a little bit of truth in Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a little bit of truth in Seventh-day Adventists, there's a little bit of truth in Christianity, there's a little bit of truth in the Muslim religion, all of it, Buddhist, Hinduism, whatever. I know a little bit, well, really a lot of it about the ones that I just named off, right? But I even know more. I even know some that are not popular because I set my mind to want to learn about roads less traveled because I want to know. My Mercury is in Aries, so I compute best when I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. I'm not one of those kind of people that know. I'm not a one-trick pony. I don't master one thing and that's all I do. That's all I know. I like to master little bits of several things, right? Because then I'm able to come to a healthy conclusion of what I believe, because it's not about learning a whole bunch of one thing to believe what it is. I don't care what it says it is totality. Only thing I care about is what part of that I'm concerned about, the part of it that feeds me. Then I move on to something else that feeds me, right? So I got a whole lot of ingredients in my pot. And I can make anything with those ingredients. I don't have to make one thing. See, when you only put one ingredient or 2 or 3 ingredients to make one particular thing, I got several different ingredients, right? I got a goulash of ingredients. But I know a lot of things about, a lot of things. But only reason I got off into all of that, I do apologize for getting wordy, is that I'm talking to somebody who may have done that exact same thing, right? You graduated from your understanding on this, and now you're trying to get understanding about some other stuff, and you changed your look to match that which you are now. That's all I'm saying. The Ace of Wands, because you had enough confidence, you had enough enthusiasm already built up from what you have been manifesting. I believe I'm talking to somebody who you started to see what you said, and that gave you like that throttled you into another spiritual tax bracket, so to speak, right? So with that being said, new levels bring on new challenges. Now, we do know that new levels bring new devils, but this ain't, I think whoever I'm talking to as well, you're spiritual enough that you got some covenant with some hell of a protectors. Whatever that means to you, whatever you use to protect you, you got your covenant. You solid with your spirit guide. So having to be concerned about new devils when you reach these new levels, that be the least of your worries. Because if nothing else, I may be talking to somebody who also knows how to cast away and banish unpleasantry. I'll just say that. Okay. So the Ace of Wands, you back confident. Okay, you're back in control of your creativity. You now know what to do to get results. Okay, you know what to do to get results because you did it. Somebody didn't tell you, you did it and saw it. You did it, you spoke it, you saw it, you literally manifested. So I'm talking to somebody. Lean the fuck in. You doubting the very thing that you actually have become. Okay, now this is the Hierophant. You're probably one of those type of people. This is Taurus's card. You're probably one of those type of people that you probably already been knowing a lot of stuff for a long time anyway, right? You've been knowing a lot of stuff for a long time anyway. So Spirit may have been telling you you've reached your zenith. You've reached your apex. You did what everybody else is just now waking up and trying to do. Now, I remember when that happened to me. I reached my zenith in like 2019, end of 2018, 2019. I remember it being close to the spring equinox, where a particular thing happened of 2019. So, but something took place, something physically took place. It was supernatural, but it happened to me physically. December 18th of 2018. And from that day forward, specifically December 18th, from that day forward, other little things began to happen that was in alignment with this thing that happened to me on December 18th, 2018. Anyway, and I remember one of the dreams that I had, because I don't know if I've talked to you guys here recently, but I'm one of those avid dreamers. I dream every night, all night, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different dreams, and I wake up and can remember all of them. And I keep dream journals in my bed, because sometimes I wake up from them, and the only way to really know and remember is to go ahead and jot it down before you fall back to sleep. Because if you don't, when you wake up for good that next morning or whenever you get up, there's a chance that you won't remember anything, or you'll remember bits and pieces and it won't make sense, so you won't even really pay any attention. But anyway, during this little transition phase, one of the dreams that I had was of a I don't know if it was an alicorn or what it was, but it was a unicorn, what y'all would know as a unicorn. But when I looked into it back then when this happened, I found out about something called an alicorn. I was like, what, an alicorn? I ain't never heard of that. So anyway, the alicorn has the unicorns only have that thing. I can't think of what it's, the horn. An alicorn has wings and horns. Okay, or a horn, very similar to does Pegasus have a? I can't remember if Pegasus has a. Anywho, I had a dream of an alicorn, and the alicorn told me, "You've you've done it, you've reached it." The alicorn spoke to me telepathically. I was looking at it; it was up in the air, kind of extended out. And it spoke to me. It said, you've reached it. So anywho, because of everything that I was already experiencing, I knew exactly what that dream told me, what it was saying. I knew what the alicorn was saying. Anyway, long story short, I feel like I'm talking to some of you. You reached your zenith about having information, having an understanding of certain things. You reached it you know enough. You reached it here recently, and you know enough to proceed with something, or to rest in it, or to like relinquish yourself from it. You know enough, and that's why this is happening for you. But there is something trying to make you doubt this. That's why lean the fuck in. Like physically lean. I don't know if you need to stand over some water, stand over some fire, go outside barefoot by a tree, lean closer to the tree, set up light up a whole bunch of incense and lean in on the smoke. Light your sage, Apollo, your eucalyptus. You can even because I do cinnamon sticks, something to represent air, and lean in on it. Like, I feel like you need to physically, I know that is a saying that people say, like lean in, but I'm telling you, I feel like some of y'all need to physically lean in on an element, because it is something about leaning in, the physical act of leaning your vessel toward an element. And I don't know what element you need to do it with. That's for you to figure out, right? Because you're not really trusting your own buoyancy 100%. I'm talking to some who do, but I'm also talking to some who don't. You know enough. You're also supposed to be teaching. You are still operating as a juvenile, a student of this stuff, of something, whatever it is. But you're as a spiritualist, a practitioner, an occultist, whatever you call yourself, you're going to always be a forever student of the cosmos. So I'm not talking about now you've mastered, you don't know. You ain't mastered the cosmos. So we will always and forever be a student of the cosmos until we graduate out of this realm, right? But whatever it is that you've been focused on and doing for a while, you've mastered that. You know enough about that. You are not a student in that anymore. So now it's time to teach it. Now it's time to advise on it. Now it's time to be wise counsel, okay, about something pertaining to whatever this is that is relevant to you, okay? If you're resonating with what I'm saying, please hit that like button, because I know that I am talking to a lot of people. I know that I am. I just hope that, again, that this lands on the timelines, on the news feed of those who really need to hear it, okay? The Nine of Swords. And that's for those of you who I know you're getting in your own way. And I just said that some of you, you just don't understand that you know enough. You're forcing instruction instead of just going ahead and implementing the directions that you've already been given for this length of time you've been on this journey. Some of y'all got your paperwork, your syllabus, your directions when you first started. Why are you still sitting and twiddling your thumb? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? You know which way to go. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know. Okay? But that's all this Nine of Swords is talking about. It's talking about someone who you have allowed your doubt to grow out of proportion. And now it's affecting your, and this is for some of you, this does not feel like big energy, but it does feel like it is happening, especially to you air signs. So I could be speaking to Virgos, Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius, okay? And I always throw Virgo in air sign energy because Virgo is mercurial. It's an earth sign, but it's way more mercurial than it is earth, okay? So Virgos have a tendency of spiraling out of control with their thought process. So, okay, so, and that's what I'm talking to. I'm talking to some of you. You have allowed your mind to grow out the doubt and the worry and the thought and the, am I doing the right thing? Do I know enough? Can I, should I? You know, that low confidence. You've allowed that to grow out of proportion. So now you done played off in your head, because you done let that stuff live there rent free. You done let that stuff live there rent free. Because if you had to put that energy in a chokehold, as soon as it started planting itself into your subconscious, if you had immediately jerked it up, it wouldn't have stayed. It would have left immediately. But see, you let it stay, and it grew stronger than your confidence. It drained you. So I'm talking to some of you who, you should have stood on business when them thoughts came. And I feel like I'm talking to somebody. Oh, this is heavy. I'm talking to some of you. Something happened that triggered this. So it wasn't just your thoughts going out of control. They got thrown out of control because something triggered a doubt. Something happened. And it began to trigger some things. I don't know if it was current things that you thought you were moving past, or past things that you thought you were over, but it triggered something that brought on this. But you're good. You're good. I feel like, especially if you're here, like if you are, subscribe if you haven't. If you're here, I am your Hierophant. I am your spiritual advisor for the day. And I am giving you wise counsel. You know exactly what you need to do. You got enough enlightenment, intelligence, and understanding, understanding, and overstanding. You got enough of that to do exactly what it is you know you're supposed to do. You don't need nothing else. You need to trust you. That's all you need to do. Okay? That's all you need to do. Is trust what I'm telling you. Not because I'm telling you, but because you already know. Okay? Let's keep going. I'm gonna pull a few more. Every card that's coming out ain't doing nothing but justifying, gratifying, and verifying what I'm already saying. Okay? This is the Fool. You don't need much. You got everything you need. What else do you need? Listen, look at that little bitty bag. She got everything she need right there. She got everything she need. But you sitting and waiting on a bigger bag. You sitting and waiting on somebody else to give you some more confirmation and congratulate. You want somebody to, I'm talking to a few of you, you're waiting for somebody to give you some type of, I don't know if you're waiting on an apology, or if you're waiting on somebody that you feel like is important to you to congratulate you. I feel like I'm talking to some of you who may want to be celebrated. You waiting on somebody to celebrate you. Man, fuck them. Girl, fuck them. Don't excuse my French. Fuck them. Look how long you've been waiting on them, and they still ain't done whatever it is you waiting on them to do. What makes you think they gonna do it? Quit playing. Quit playing. You got everything you need. And what you need, the universe didn't deem it necessary for you to need anything from them. Because if the universe deemed that you needed something from them, they would have given it. Right? See, you know when something is for you because it's for you and it's right there. It's available. You ain't got to chase it. You ain't got to ask for it. You ain't got to run for it. It's there. When you need it, it's there. Blink, it's there. If you got to wait, if you got to ask, if you got to wonder, if you got to go to it, what's for you is for you. And 10 times out of 10, it comes to you. And I don't care what it is. Place that energy where it belongs. A person, a place, a thing, an opportunity, an experience, an idea. So whoever I'm talking to and that is waiting on a person, a place, it ain't coming For one or two reasons. Either you already got what you need and what you waiting on, you don't even need it, so it's not coming. Or you're supposed to go get it. You waiting on it to come to you, and the universe is telling you what is you talking about? I done gave you everything you need to go get it. You have done all of this work just to still sit and wait? You might as well go be a waiter at a restaurant. Since you don't want to operate like the god or the goddess that you have become and create, generate, operate, and destroy if need be. You feel me? Get on it. Get on it. Now, I'm getting a herb in my mind's eye for somebody to work with, or either you've already been working with it, because it was a eucalyptus. Work with eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is going to clear out some. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who may have some. If you don't want to lean in on an element, lean in. You know, earlier I was telling you to lean in on them elements. Actually work with the elements. But some of y'all can lean in with some eucalyptus. I don't know if you need to burn it. With that would still, you know, be representative of you using it as air. But you can burn it. You can boil it and let it steam, right? You can get your eucalyptus oil, eucalyptus candles, okay? Work with eucalyptus, because it's going, I feel like it's going to clear out some stagnant portals. There are some portals that are opened for you, but it feels like it needs some type of pungent something to push it. Your portal is clogged, and eucalyptus can be used as a Drano. Whether you use it as an oil, a lotion, a shampoo, incense, a candle, just get in the energy of eucalyptus somehow, some way. You're welcome. Oh, that's why. Because many of you, whether you already own it or you're headed to it, are getting ready to come up against those naysayers that laughed at you, didn't believe in you. For some of y'all, this is that person that you was waiting on all that time, and they see you done went the fuck on without them. You didn't even wait for them to say yes. You didn't wait for them to say congratulations. You didn't wait for them to give you an answer. You didn't wait for their call back. You took charge. You took control and made a pimp decision that worked out in your favor. Okay. Some of y'all are getting ready to have to come up against them. And will, and is, and has. Okay? So you ain't got nothing to worry about. You remember earlier I told you, you got a covenant with some hell of a protector. So really a lot of this battle has already been fought for you. All you got to do is remember who you are. You know enough. You got enough. Because I feel like I feel like I'm talking to some of you who got the mindset. My grandmama used to tell me, you ain't got to stop and throw a rock at every dog that barks. Okay? Some of y'all are going to feel like you got to fight every battle. And we know the old school saying, choose your battles wisely. Listen, you ain't got to choose none of these battles. You ain't got to choose none of them. You got your staff, you got your wine, and it's got growth and power. Theirs is bald, okay? Theirs ain't got no power. They're hoping that you're not brave enough, strong enough, confident enough to pay any attention to the fact that they ain't got no power when they won. They ain't got no power when they won. They are powerless. They ain't got no power. They little ones is bare, but look at yours. They're hoping that you ain't moving in this. They're hoping that they're hoping that the lack of support, the lack of love, the lack of whatever that they didn't give you, right? They're hoping that you're still moving in that, on that, wondering about that, still feeling something. So you won't be able to really see that they ain't really got no more power over you. They ain't got no power over you. They hoping that you don't know that. But I'm talking to a collective of y'all that know. You know. And if you didn't know, now you know. Because look at y'all. Because my cards don't do nothing but back what I say. Really? So now we're talking about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the god of swords and the goddess of swords. So I'm talking to men and women. I'm talking to the divine masculine and the divine feminine. I'm talking to a woman who didn't understand how to tap her divine masculine. I'm talking to a woman who didn't maybe know how to tap her divine feminine. I'm talking to a man who didn't know how to tap his divine masculine. I'm talking to a man who didn't know how to tap his divine feminine. Because remember, we have both. Man and woman. We have both energies. That's what makes us whole. The duality of our being, male and female, masculine and feminine. I told you you've leveled up. You look like what you are now. And it just ain't looking good on paper. You walking it, you talking it, you saying it, you doing it, you being it. You are it. And if you didn't know, I'm telling you, go ahead and activate it. Lean the fuck in. You are it. You are the shit. You have made it. You've made it. You've made it. What you wait now? What you wait now? So you want some more. And Spirit is telling you, more of what? You are the more. You found out the secret. You made it. Work with amethyst. Secure your biosphere. Amethyst is really good with not only activating that third eye and keeping the crown chakra and the third eye kind of in alignment with talking to one another. But if you see that means something. Whatever you feel like that is doing, that's what that amethyst does. I put it right there on that third eye. But it's really good with helping you cloak your magnetic field, because you may come across that, and it's not a part of this. It ain't none of these people. It may be some, I feel like it's going to be one person that may have some dark energy. They're going to try to get close to you. They want to get under you. So be careful with them. But you can, like I said, cloak that energy. If you need to pair it with a protective stone, pair it with obsidian, pair it with black tourmaline. Okay, if they small enough, wear them on you. If they big, just when you get into your sacred space, your meditation, your mindful momentness, just hold them. You know, put them on your shoulder, up on your head, lay back, lay them on